Hey, Portia.
Yes.
Never mind. Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Marcus McCoy. I'm your host, Marcus McCoy. And today we are going to be discussing part two of friendship, which I think is going to be a great conversation. But before we jump into that, I want to first thank all the listeners, subscribers. I see all the emails and the messages and the phone calls. I promise you, eventually we're going to get to you guys' topic. I also want to continue to send my thoughts and prayers to the state of Mississippi, especially Jackson, Mississippi, where I'm from. As you can see, I'm trying to represent. I have my Pray for Mississippi hoodie on. I know people out there are going, my family and friends are going without running water, and basically, all help that we can provide would be great. But now I have a great panel of guests, and I'm gonna let those guests introduce themselves.
Hi, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in this universe. My name is Varsha Robinson. I am a victim advocate, positive woman in empowerment, and first-time author. Yes, a walk in her shoes. Who's better to market you but yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I have lived pretty much around this country, and I'm super excited to be here today with this panel of awesomeness, Black girl magic, Black boy magic, and just have a wonderful conversation today.
Indeed. All right. Hello. My name is Okoyo Simmons. You can call me OJ. I go by that as well. I am a retired Navy veteran, 27 years, United States Navy, Hooyah Navy, and I'm now a motivational speaker. I concentrate on leadership development, team development, unit cohesion, and character development. My clients range from entrepreneurs, small business, big business, schools, universities, and sports teams. I also have a leadership development company where we do consulting for those same folks. It's called E9 Leadership Development. And I also want to say this. I should have said this before, but hey, Marcus, I want to congratulate you on what you're doing here in the community. I am from El Paso. Shout out to Northeast El Paso, Parkland High School. That's where I grew up. That's where I'm from. But I appreciate everything you're doing for the community. And I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to assisting you wherever I can. But I appreciate everything you're doing, and I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone. I am Shantae Burnell. I'm back again. I was on Friendship Part 1. So just to reiterate, I am a single mother. I am currently a service member in the Army, and I am completing my PhD. I'm in the dissertation phase. I, too, am excited about the things that Marcus is doing and excited about what this conversation will bring today.
Absolutely. So I want to thank you all for being here. Like Varsha said, she didn't say black man magic. I ain't hear it. I didn't hear that. I heard black, but I definitely, shout out to the ladies. Y'all definitely hold it down. Hey, but we ain't no slouches either now.
I know I said black boy magic.
You did.
Listen to the playback.
You said black boy?
Yes, I said black boy magic.
I am a man, Damon.
It flowed with black girl magic.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy. I'm reclaiming my time.
You gonna pull it back? Okay. All right. Let's jump right in. So here's my question. When it comes to friendship, who is your best friends or your closest circle of friends, and what do you think makes you all friends or connect in that manner?
So for myself, my circle of friends, they have to understand my tics, my triggers, how what's this word they use nowadays, how toxic I am. Because I am the type we could hang out on Friday, Saturday if we have plans, I'm a cancel. I'm tired.
What you say? What you tell me earlier? You old, right? You old.
Old. I'm old. I'm a mother of 3 kids. I'm old. So if we hang out on Friday, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for the rest of the week. And oh gosh, they have to understand. Hey, sometimes I don't need noise. I don't want to talk. Can we sit here and watch these Christmas movies in June? Just quietly.
Christmas movies. I'm gonna get back to that. Christmas movies in June.
Can we watch Lifetime? Just that's I'm at that point in my life. Um, do I have to text you every day? Do we have to talk every day for you to know that I love you? I know, granted, I have some I have to reach out on a regular basis, but then I have that select few that take me as I am. Like, hey, I haven't heard from you since 2019. I'm still alive. You still alive? Yes, I'm still alive, and I love you. That's all. So to be a friend with me, you have to understand. Hey, this is what it is, and I love you regardless. But sometimes I need my little space. I can't be all that you need me to be. So you got that. I filled out the questionnaire before we became friends. So refer back to your file.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so on me?
It's on you, OJ.
Okay.
Yeah, use your line, OJ.
Following up Varsha. Why you got me following up Varsha? Okay. Now, friends, I think that when you talk about friends, or particularly for me, they have to be like-minded individuals. Okay, so somebody that's kind, that's caring, that is God-fearing, somebody that is transparent, honest. Honesty is big with me when it comes to friendship and any relationship that I think is important. Honesty is probably one of the number one traits that I think that you should have. When I think of friendship, I'm thinking of a place where, like most relationships, it's a place where you go to give things, a relationship where you should go to give instead of receive. Now, you will receive out of that friendship if it's mutual friendship, obviously, but I think that it's a place where you should go to give things. Okay, so somebody who's giving of themselves is a good friend. The second part of that question is who is my good friend? Well, certainly my wife is my best friend. We've been married 22 years, and I think we'll probably talk about spouses and significant others and friendships later on, but I'll start by saying that. But outside of my wife, certainly Kevin Bryce is a good friend of mine, my best friend. He's one of my old Navy buddies out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's from Greensboro, but just like I said, as far as the traits goes, he's a like-minded individual, kind, funny. I have a great sense of humor, I think, as does he and as does my wife. But it makes for us, it makes for us to gel, the opportunity to gel, because we tend to think alike, and it's been a long friendship. I think we've been friends actually for about 25 years, and so no, it's maybe 26, 27 years, but he's my man.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
So since I'm after the great Varsha and OJ, I'm sure they're going to take a lot of my thoughts and ideas about friendship.
Thought stealing, that's what it's called.
Well, they say great minds think alike, and you just happen to pick 3 great people to be on here with you today. But in addition to what they've already said, for me, just having someone who I really, really can bond with, someone who understands what I've been through, someone who can relate, someone who accepts me, someone who celebrates my successes. And these are some of the things that we went over in the first show. Currently, I have a couple of groups of close friends, and we just have things in common, such as, our relationship with God that's important to us. So I have a group of very close friends that uplift me spiritually, and vice versa. And then I have a very close group of African American female officers that I've met throughout the Army, and then a group of other single parents that I've met. So it's just having those things in common that you can really relate and understand others that have caused these or created these close friendships for me.
So for me, I think it's probably like a two-part answer. So my closest friend in terms of probably time would be a guy named Alan Arnold. And if you watching, hey, shout out to my boy Alan Arnold. We joined the United States Army together. So we've been friends for almost 20 years. And I think the thing that makes us friends is one, we've always been real with each other, but we basically got to grow up together. Because, when you think about it, he joined the military, most of us joined the military young. I was 21 at the time. I want to say he was 23. So we've got to see each other evolve over time. We still stay the course of having that friendship and staying involved in each other's lives. Now, here, in El Paso, I would definitely say, without question, it's got to be my boy TK and my boy Jamar. And if y'all watching, hey man, shout out to my boys too. But all of those things together for me, it's just about somebody that's gonna be real. I think a lot of times friendship comes with strings attached to it. I'm gonna be your friend if you do this for me, or if I need you. But like OJ said, it's a give take relationship. You're gonna give some things, you're gonna receive some things. I don't want to be in any relationship, whether it's friend or otherwise, where I always had to be the giver and I'm never the receiver. I don't think that, to me, in my honest opinion, I don't think that's friendship. Now on another note, like as far as friendship, do you guys or do you all have older or younger friends? And if so, do you think that plays a part in your relationship as far as being friends?
So I have older friends. I have friends that's my age. And what is that? Girl turned 40. Some 20-year-olds don't even look half as good. But because I have older friends, I have younger friends, because everyone isn't at the same place in their life at the same time.
Absolutely.
Our little ones just started school, and I have a kindergartner. And the first thing he said when he came home, "Mommy, I made friends today during PE." And I was like, that is so awesome. So at the age of 5, you're going to connect with, your demographic, your age group on the playground. Hey, you want to push me? I'll push you. But as we're older, we have evolved. We're all over the place. Professionally, you're going to meet friends within that circle. Work, you have that work friend. I don't know anyone that doesn't have an older work friend. And I'm just going to use Faye. My Faye was my older work friend's sister. It got to the point where she could tell me, yo, you messing up. I'm sick of you. And I'd be like, yeah, I'm sick of my stuff too.
You can't get sick of yourself, man. Hold on.
Yeah, that's when you're.
That's the thing, getting sick of yourself.
Yes, that's when you're honest about it. You just gotta be honest. Yeah, I'm sick. I'm sick of me too. I see what you're talking about.
I don't never get sick of me, but I feel where you're going.
So, and then I have younger friends because, again, I got a 5-year-old and I'm 40. So it's some younger mothers, parents out there, and we relate on certain things. So it's for me, a friend, there's no age group. Of course, you have to be legal. Okay, you have to be able to go and buy me a bottle of wine if I send out that text. It's a
Hold
wine.
on. Let me back up. I ain't trying to cut y'all. So you telling me you sent out a text to get bottles of wine from your friend?
That's one of my stipulations of being a friend.
It was in the contract that you said they were supposed to go back and revert to.
Questionnaire, you got to refer
Okay.
back to the file.
I got you.
All of your friends, if we had to refer to our friends as a drink, I have a bourbon friend, I got a wine friend, I got the White Claw friend.
That's the White Claw. Them drinks suck, by the way.
She getting lit, but everyone is at a different point in their life. So you're gonna have that older friend, you're gonna have that younger friend, but how do you vibe? Like Shantae, you brought up everywhere that you've gone, you have a friend within that circle. So I'm a basketball mom now. I got a friend in the group. She schools me on the fundamentals of basketball. I was like, I don't know nothing about this foosball. So you have friends within your circle, whatever you do.
Hey, that's that Georgia in you coming out. She said foosball.
Foosball, and I'm in Kentucky right now, so I'm working on my draw right now.
So for me, similar to Varsha, I don't know that there's an age range that you can place on friends. Certainly, the ones that are probably closer to your age are likely to have the, more things in common with you. But for me, I have usually been growing up. I was usually the youngest friend in my circle, and so when joining the Navy. In the beginning, it was pretty similar. I was usually the youngest friend. So I had older friends, older guys, OGs or whatever the case. And so that was my circle makeup, usually older guys, sometimes younger. But now that I am older, I still have some OGs, some older guys, some older friends that, we like I was telling you earlier, my good friend, he's actually about 5 years older than me. So we have so much in common, but we have a younger group of friends that used to be my proteges in the military, and now since I have retired, have become pretty good friends. And they're younger, and I tell you what, without them, well, first of all, they remind me how old I am every time I speak to them or every time I deal with them. But they keep me up to speed on a lot of stuff. I like to fool with them and say they keep me up to speed on a lot of things that I don't care anything about because they are young and they have different interests. But it's good, and I feel balanced because, like I said, I got the older guys and I got the younger crew. So I'm blessed in being able to have that range, and I think that's good. I think it keeps me kind of balanced, which I think is important in life. Be balanced, and so I'm fortunate to have that. The younger group keep me focus on things that I probably wouldn't focus on if I didn't have them, and of course my OGs that keep me focused and moving forward and growing. So that's what I got going on.
So we've already established that I have these groups of friends, but my longest friendship is with my friend Sherry, and she is over 13 years older than me. And as Barsha stated, she's actually someone that I had started working with many years ago. And I think it's so important to have someone older in your life who has been through several different scenarios, situations, circumstances that, as younger adults, we are probably going to go through. And having someone that can give you that guidance on what happened to them, how they managed it, how they felt, to confirm your feelings, your thoughts on the situation, and to just give you that guidance, I think is definitely necessary. I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and get an older friend. I'm just saying.
You sound like you're recruiting right now.
Right. For me, it just brings a lot. But I've always been an old soul, so I've been told.
Yeah.
So for me, it just brings a lot more to the friendship, having someone that can relate because they have already been through the things that I am going through, and they want to help me navigate through those things.
So I definitely agree with what you said. I'm going to kind of piggyback off that, like basically what everybody said. So I definitely agree with OJ in terms of I don't think the age thing matters to a certain extent because I mean a good person is going to be a good person regardless of age. However, I do like Shantae said, I do see the value in having some older friends and younger friends from both perspectives. Being older than somebody else, then I can actually guide them away from some of the pitfalls I might have already faced. Being younger, somebody can help me avoid those pitfalls. Like for me, my mom, my dad, they are both my friends. I'm old enough to be able to say that now without getting a whooping. Because we was younger. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no.
I'm not your friend.
It was I ain't your friend. But I would say this about my dad and my mom, but I'm particularly talking about my dad right now, is he's great at giving advice, right? And one of the things he always try to do is he tells me about situations that I might currently be going through at the time and something he's already faced. And then he gives me avenues or a guideline to avoid, or even if I'm already in a situation, hey, look, well, this is how you navigate through that. So, I like the fact that over time, he's still always going to be my dad, always going to be my father, right? But the relationship has evolved is basically what I'm saying. Now, OJ mentioned something earlier. We were talking about, he said that his wife was his best friend. Now, do you feel like, some married people say that their spouse is their best friend. How do you guys feel about that? Does that necessarily apply? Or, just what are your thoughts in general about it?
So my spouse, my good thing, my
good
my peanut butter to my jelly.
Okay, Marshall.
Not the peanut butter to the jelly.
Hey, that's a whole nother
peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time.
But he is my best friend. I mean, we've been married 15 years. 3 kids. He's active duty. So he's experienced things and he has to be able to come home and dump. And I have to be able to yeah, babe, you right. Mm-hmm. They ain't nothing. You right. And they messing with you? What? And likewise, because I do work and he has to hear me because I'll be like, babe, I'm about to quit. I don't have to take this. My husband got 2 jobs. Yeah. So he's seen me at my worst. He's, like I said, I bore his 3 kids. So
did you say that again? What you just said? Say exactly what you said.
Yes, yeah. I know what you're keying on.
Say it the way you just said it. About you just did what? Say it again.
What did I say?
About you did what? His 3 kids.
I bore his 3 kids.
You saw old face.
Because I have old friends. Boom. So yes. He's seen me at my worst. He's been there. He knows my ups, my downs, my triggers. So he is my best friend. I could call him and he could hear that. And he knows what type of day or bad. He knows how it's about to go down. He knows my triggers because contrary to misbelief, I am not a social person. I'm an introvert. So when we're out and he can see I'm at my level of being sociable, it's time to go. I'm like, I've been ready to go. I was waiting on you. So that's just being together for 15 years, learning each other. So yes, that's my best friend. I said we started off as best friends, but we are best friends now. Yes, that's a whole nother conversation.
Or 3.
Hey, I'll tell you this, that all of that makes sense to me, what Barsha just said, as far as being best friends with your spouse. My wife, we've been married 22 years, and she is my best friend. And here's the thing, when you talk about best friends and spouses or your significant others, if you were to rattle off the traits and the characteristics that you think that are in a friend, honesty, caring, loving, transparent, going to be there for you, I don't know how you could actually have a spouse or significant other that doesn't align directly up with those same traits and characteristics. I would say if that's not the case, something is wrong. Maybe you got to get some counseling, or you just got to get a different person. But I do realize that everybody's different.
I was just saying, just get a different person.
Yeah, I'm a straight shooter. I'm a straight shooter. You know what I'm saying? You might have a wrong one, okay? Or you got to work on some things. I believe in trying to work it out, but before too long, you got to go if it doesn't work out right. So, but yeah, it makes sense to me that other folks find the same situation. My spouse, again, like I said, we 22 years. Hey, Leitra Simmons, realtor, El Paso realtor. So if you're buying, selling, or investing, look her up. She got you covered. But
there you go, shout her out.
Yeah, see, that's real friendship. You see what I'm saying? Hey, putting your wife in the game. That's what I'm talking about.
We met. She's from Dallas, Texas. So we met in the military a long time ago. But we pretty much grew up together. And so I'll tell you that she's definitely like Barsha said, pretty much ride or die this whole time. And I'm just so you know, I'm not under duress. She's not in the room or in the house. So I am not under duress. I'm just playing. She is not here. So everything I say is free and clear.
With no repercussion.
No repercussions. Mark
is not being coerced.
I'm good, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I do know she will watch this on repeat. Okay, but anyway. No, I am just joking. But go ahead. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, so God has not blessed me with a spouse. I am single, by the way. Got to put that out there. From the older friends that I have and people that I am close to that have had long-term relationships, from what I hear, it is most vital to be best friends with your spouse, because every day is not going to be a good day for both people. Every day you're not going to come home the happiest. Every day you're not going to come home wanting to be lovey-dovey and touching each other and hanging out. And it's that friendship in the end that's going to be the glue that keeps things together. Knowing that that person's someone you can trust with your secrets, that person's got your back, that person is going to advertise your business and and support you fully in your endeavors. And so for me, even though I haven't had the actual experience, I do personally believe that being best friends with your spouse is important.
All right. So I just want to say, now this is a friendship piece I'm finna say. This is the second time she's been on the show, and it's the second time she has used my podcast to advertise her singleness. If you don't believe me, go back and check the tape for the first friendship.
Get it.
It reminds me, you know what I think of? That song.
You don't see got a man. She is. They blind.
Shantae's got a man. What's that song? Shantae Moorhan. Shantae's got a man.
Now that song's kind of toxic. But everyone can see that Shantae is gorgeous. And then she got credentials. Come on. They better snatch her up.
But see, that all you just named right there. See, that's back on friendship, right? See, I threw her the alley the first time, right? She gave all credentials. You know, it was people messages show asking how to get in contact with her, all kind of stuff, right? And then I bring her back, and this is what she does when I bring her back the second time. You see what I'm saying?
You just can't go back and all thing. You know, it has to be filtered. You know.
Now I want to say everything you all said. I definitely agree with it from every standpoint. I definitely can see how two people in a relationship, like OJ said, especially if you share the same values, looking for the same traits, that you're probably gonna look for the same things in a spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend, however you want to title it, that you're gonna look for in a friend. Now, there's an old saying that you are the company you keep. Do you guys think that's true, or is it a little over the top? You pondering. You got the pondering face.
Mm-hmm.
You are the company you keep, like birds of a feather flock together. That type.
Yeah, that whole attitude.
I mean, sometimes because I am here in Kentucky, I've seen the turkeys hang out with the geese. It's a lot of wildlife here. It's a lot of wildlife. It's all feathers.
Man, what in the world? Look, how did you come?
She's got analogies.
She does. She has a lot of analogies.
But you are the company you keep. Oh gosh. Again, it depends where you are. Okay, for example, I have friends that's my wonderful sisters that will pray you under and pray you out of something. Ooh. And if they find out you messing with me, you don't want them to go to their prayer closet. Then I have friends that if they find out you're messing with me, you don't want them to pop the trunk on you. So
Man.
Yes. So,
I need to stay away from your friends.
And then I'm the common denominator in it. So I'm a little thug and a little hood. I'm a little saved and hood. So that means it's me. It's me.
That's what that means.
It's me.
That's exactly what it means.
See what I told you in the beginning? Sometimes I'm sick of myself. I say it's me. But if they all love you and we all got feathers, why can't we hang? So
I've never heard anybody use that analogy. That is a first, but we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I always hear that birds of a feather flock together. But we all got feathers. So why can't we all just hang? As long as we're not fussing.
How did it go, Marcus? If the company you keep? Say the line.
That you are. You know, a lot of people say that you are the company that you keep.
Yeah, I am here to tell you that is true. And look, I'm gonna put my glasses on for this. I'm about to give it to y'all. Now, I have my son. I have a 20-year-old, and I counsel him. I talk to him all the time. I'm sure, just like you, Marcus and Malik. I tell him about his company, and he's outstanding. He's awesome. I'll tell you that. But I always tell him, watch your company, watch your circle, keep it tight. You know, you can tend to it, keep your circle tight, and do maintenance to keep the weeds away. All right. You are going, it's like this. Let's use this analogy. If you have 10 trifling friends, you're going to be number 11. If you have 10 broke friends, you're going to be the 11th. If you have 10 clown friends, you're going to be number 11. You're going to be the 11th clown in that group. And it may not start off that way, but I think it definitely will end up that way. You may think that you're going to be the one that's, I don't know whether you call it righteous or the one that's going to, be straightforward and be the good one. It may start off that way, but little by little, time after time, it's going to end up where that stuff engulfs you, whatever it is. On the flip side, you have 10 positive friends, you're going to be the 11th positive friend. You have 10 caring friends, you're going to be the 11th one. So I am a true believer in that you are going to be who you associate with. So you keep that circle together, you keep it tight. And like I said, you do whatever maintenance you need to do to keep the weeds out of that circle, because you are the company you keep, no doubt. I will take my glasses off now.
You had to see to say that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I see it in your eyes, brother.
Yes, sir.
So like Varsha, I'm flocking with a whole bunch of groups.
Oh
okay?
my God. We're gonna call y'all Walker.
Because I'm a combination of, classy, holy, a little not so classy at times. It's just the dynamics of my personality. And I've already stated the groups that, I have close friendships in, the sisterhood when it comes to faith, the female Army officers, the single moms. And because all of those different components encompass parts of who I am flocking with these different groups and different people. And I think, honestly, that's just a part of life.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to disagree with OJ to a point, right? I got the two Waka Flocka twins that they flock to. I disagree from this standpoint. I do believe situationally you can be the company you keep. However, I do feel like based on a different set of dynamics or circumstances, sometimes you could be in a circle of friends that you don't do the same thing. I give you a prime example. Everybody has probably had this at one point. How you got like at some point, all right, before you, I'm gonna use this example, but before you were married, or even maybe while you were married, you probably got some single friends, right? Okay. Yeah. That right there is just the fact that you're married and they're single, definitely change the dynamic. Because some of your single friends are gonna do some stuff that you're not gonna dare do, right? Because you're married, right? So you can't necessarily say in that situation that you are the company you keep. I mean, we've all had friends like that do certain stuff that I would even say to a great degree you probably don't even necessarily agree with, but you realize like that's what they do, and then you make sure that you're not associated or caught up in that.
That's it. That's so, yeah. I have had that situation, and when it's been revealed to me, hey, wait a minute, this person's involved in something I'm not going to do. Then you move on. But yeah, to your point, yeah, you can start off that way, but then once it's becomes apparent that this ain't really my group, then I've been out. So yeah, it's happened like you said, but I'm out of there.
Hey. Now look, now on that same token, right? And it's something me and Varsha we talked about earlier today. All right, so you realize that circle of friends, or maybe you thought they were friends, that they move different, right? Have you ever had any situations where your friends have tried to have you conform to maybe the way they are in life?
So like you said, we discussed this earlier, and let me do my impression. Like I told y'all, I'm sick of my stuff too. So I have a friend, and she's always, Varsha, we need to sit down and have some tea. I'm like, okay, let's sit down and have some coffee. I don't even like coffee. I don't want that. Well, let's do this. I'm like, that's not my style. It's too much for me. But those are okay. There's levels of friendships, and granted, it's a new friendship, and we're still learning each other. When you have that friend that And we're going to have to talk about how we're using this word friend just so loosely. Everybody can't have it.
We're going to get there.
We're going to get there. Okay.
We're going to unpack that.
But it's still a new relationship. So we're learning each other. And she's learning that I don't like to do stuff. If she wants to do things, but I'm not that yes person. If I'm not vibing with it, if I get that gut instinct, I'm good. I'm 40, so that peer pressure it doesn't work with me because I got this 401k, I got these kids, I got this husband.
She said the 401. Hey, I want to say this too. Every time you say you 40, that is not in today's world. That is not old at all.
She's just saying she's more mature.
I'm more mature. Thank you. I'm seasoned.
You see the friendship taking. That was not an attack. I was just making an observation.
I was just clarifying what she was
not old, but growing up as kids, I was like, oh my gosh, when I turned 40. Ooh, when I'm 40. Now that I'm 40, I'm like, ooh, I'm 40. I can't do that. I'm 40. I can't do that. I'm 40. So it changes. Your mindset changes a lot. And then, like I said, I got this 401k, these kids, and this car note. There's certain things I can't do. I won't do. I'm raising a little black girl. So I'm always on. So no, that peer pressure. If that person that you're trying to develop their relationship with, trying to get you to conform to them, unless you're giving me stock options, pass me by. Pass me by.
What you got, OJ?
I got I'm just sad because Varsha talking about being old at 40. I'm gonna be 49 next month. And she keep talking about 40 years old, man. So
she was mature. She didn't say old.
No, she said old. She don't. Now see what you're trying to do. You trying to interpret what she meant versus what she said.
She was saying from back in the day when she was 10, and she's like, "Oh, what's gonna happen when I'm 40?" She hit that.
At 20, I'm 40 with a kindergartner.
That don't make me feel no better. But
having a run, try running behind a 5-year-old and see if you'll get winded.
Yeah, I know it. But but Varsha brings up a good point when you talk about stuff like conforming and friends. We got to, and you said we're going to get to it. You define a friend as someone who's not. Part of the definition of a friend is somebody who's not going to get you to conform into anything that you don't want to do or you don't want to be a part of. I think part of being a true friend that is defined and proper is that they know boundaries and they know the lines of and where they lay. So I haven't had any friends that have tried to get me to conform to something else. And like I say, I'm 49. I've had acquaintances. I got a long list of acquaintances in my time, but usually I've been a confident guy, so I've never had a problem with that. But I do know that there are folks that will try to get you to conform to different things, and I certainly don't call them friends. They're more like some folks that have been acquaintances at one point or another, but not friends.
Shantae, what you got? I know you got probably a tongue for it.
No, I can't think of any circumstances offhand where someone has tried to get me to conform, although I'm sure it's probably happened. My brain isn't the same as it used to be when I was younger, put that out there. But I've always been an independent person, a free thinker. I march to the beat of my own drum. So it's very rare that I'm easily influenced, especially to do something that I'm not already inclined to want to do on my own. And like Bart just said, if it's not paying my bills or helping me in any kind of way, I'm not with it. I too have a young daughter that I'm trying to set a good example for. And, those things are important when you bring someone into your life that you call a friend. And as OJ said, a true friend is going to accept you for who you are. They're not going to try to get you to conform. That's not a true friendship, in my opinion.
So for me, I guess maybe conform isn't maybe the best phrase for it. OJ mentioned, having acquaintances, right? So, in my short time, because I'm not gonna say 40 years old, but me and Varsha, we're in the same age group, you know what I'm saying?
You
But on
all,
my short time in this on this earth, I have, I like OJ said, I got a list of acquaintances. Now, at one point, I would have considered thought these, individuals to be my friend. But I also realized, and not to get, all spiritual on you guys, nothing like that, but I also realized that God will show you who is meant to be in your life and who's not meant to be in your life.
Amen.
So for some people, I have a big heart, so I've been guilty in the past of being really trusting, right? So because I'm like that, sometimes I let the wrong people get in my circle. And I was thinking about this we're about to get to the show, is that the devil will place enemies around you in the presence of the people that you think are your friends, or how you might have some friends, obviously they're not actually friends, that the only reason why they keep up with you what you're doing is because they want to see your downfall.
Mm.
It's not out of sincerity or because they care about you or anything like that. It's because secretly, they wish you to fail. And it kind of goes back to what Shantae said about, the type of people that she's gonna have around herself in a circle. And if you're not doing certain things, for that, then that helps me get to, where I'm going, then you're not gonna be in the circle. One thing about me, I'll say, and everybody knows, my cutoff game is strong. You got, hey, you can go back and check the tape from the other one. I said this before. You got one time that crossed me, and if it's bad enough, then you got to go. That's all it is to it. I don't think that's wrong. I feel like, again, the people are supposed to be in your life. They're gonna be in your life, and I'll do you a step further. I'm gonna give you a scenario. Something happened to me, right? So in 2020, at the end of the year in 2020, I had COVID, right? It was real bad. And everybody already know. Look, I don't weigh that much as it is anyway, right? So I'm in the room. I'm sick, man. I'm losing weight. I couldn't eat. I lost my taste. I lost my smell. And it was a really difficult time for me. I think that's probably one of the only times in my life I actually really felt like I was going to die. And I was scared of dying. And all I could do was just pray. And I remember my mom told me, she was like, all that worrying that you're doing is not gonna make you feel no better. She's like, you gotta let go and you gotta give it to God. And I swear, the minute I started doing that, it's like my taste came back instantly. I was like, oh man, I can taste this chicken. And then I started being better. But at the same token, there are people that I thought were gonna be there for me in my time of need. They were supposed to be my friends. I could think of a handful of people that checked on me and made sure I was good. And that just told me a lot about what I needed to know. Here it is, I could possibly die. And the people who say they love me, some of the people, you know what I'm saying? The people who were there for me, they know who they are. And the people who weren't, they know who they are too. But this is a serious scenario. It's not like, I needed some mail or, you go get me something. Like I was really sick. And it's at a time where we didn't have vaccines or anything like that either, right? So I just feel like that time really gave me time to evaluate what group of people or what my standard of what a friend is going to be or what a friend looks like. Have you guys ever had any scenarios like that where you realize that, that wasn't your group of friends or your friend in general? Varsha, you don't want to talk now, huh? Look at it. What?
so it's on me again. Okay. Yes. I've had those interactions, several times. And like you said your cutoff game. I have learned to pray for them and let it go. I would cut off I will remove you from my life as far as we don't have to talk. But when I see you, I will still be civil because it's for me. Um, and then I'm a little petty because I will take a little bit of satisfaction in knowing that I don't fool with you, but I still sit there and speak to you when we out and about. Hey, how you doing? How your mama doing? And before you finish the conversation, I walk off.
So you said you was a little petty.
The Lord, see, that's why I have friends in my circle that pray for me and over me because they know that how I am. I'm a work in progress. But it's all about peace and those type. Sometimes you have to put into perspective when you're down and out. When you're down, sometimes they're going through things too. Just because you're vocal about what you're going through, others are not that vocal. They prefer to go through things in silence because past trauma. They were there for someone and that person wasn't there for them. It wasn't returned, so they don't exactly know how to give. They don't know how to love. So I try to. I'm the type I give you so many chances to the point where I had that friend who was like, just cut them off. I'm sick of you. Cut them off. And I'd be like, no, right. It's me. It's me. I was expecting them to be this. No, so, but once I'm at that level, that's when the cutoff came. I will still speak to you because, hey, everyone, you never know what they're going through. You still need a hug, but we don't have to break bread. We don't have to go out. I'm definitely not going to babysit your kids and take me off your emergency contact list. No.
Not the emergency contact list. Oh, Jay, she went to the emergency contact list, man.
That's serious.
You ain't picking the kids up school, huh?
That's business.
That's business, right? Business. If something happened to you, they just gonna be up there. They're gonna be so.
Go ahead, OJ.
Yeah, for me, I did have a friend who kind of we fell out. We fell out over something that was revealed to me, and it really shook me for a minute because when I say friends and how we're talking about defining, this person was in the circle, so I was upset kind of with myself that I didn't see this coming, and someone who was in my circle, really shouldn't have been in my circle, and so as Varsha alluded to, the key for me, and it was for me, was to forgive. Okay, and so I forgave that person, but obviously I'm not going to forget that, and so the relationship, the friendship hasn't been the same. It's in between a friendship and an acquaintance is where we are with the brother, and so but the forgiveness piece was important for me because, like I said, it shook me and it kind of startled me. I'm like, man, this cat been close to me for a minute, and we had this issue. So it's happened. Forgiveness is key. So I encourage anyone who's gone through something like that. Forgiveness is key for you. Don't think about it as for them, but it was key for me to move on because I did struggle to move on. I was infuriated at times when I would think about this individual, when I would see the cat. Well, I didn't see the cat often, but it really was messing with my peace, Marcus, as you mentioned earlier, messing with my peace. But once I said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna forgive this person, that's exactly, the change happened inside and my peace came back. And so although I do from time to time talk to the brother, but it's different. But again, forgiveness. So
forgive him. Go on and forgive him. You sit there holding everything in, your blood pressure.
My dad, I'll finish with this quick. My dad told me long ago, you can be mad at somebody and lose sleep and be all balled up and bundled up and stressed out while that person is getting good sleep and rest at night.
Sleep like a baby.
Yeah, it's sleeping like a baby, not thinking about you. So
9 times out of 10, they don't even know you mad.
preach. Well,
Amen
that's
to
it.
that.
But the forgiveness was key for me. Shantae?
Listen, I just had this conversation with a friend earlier. They were going through something and they wanted to take some actions. And I said, listen, you gotta let it go, because this other person is sleeping at night with no problems, not even worried. But I have had situations where I thought I could rely on somebody. They showed me otherwise, or someone I thought was a friend. And it is a combination of forgiveness, but not forgetting. Because the thing is, not everyone is going to have the same values and responses to situations that you have. And you can't put that expectation on other people. And when they show you who they are in certain circumstances, that they're not the best friend, they're not the most honest, they're not the most trustworthy, you have an obligation to protect yourself, to protect your heart, your peace. And in many cases, that might call for you saying, okay, I can forgive this person, but I don't have to allow this person to have access to me or be in my life.
Right.
I can, see you in the street, say hello and keep it moving. We're not going to have conversation. We're not going to meet up for lunch to rehash things. And you just have to know that sometimes, in order for you to keep yourself together, your mind together, we're already all battling different things that make us anxious, maybe make us depressed, different situations we're always dealing with on our own. You have to minimize the things that are going to cause you to be unhappy.
Oh man, I just want to say y'all sound so educated. You is special. You is kind. Nah, I'm playing. Hey, so we're gonna take a minute. We're gonna go to the comments, see what we got going on there. All right, Sarah Starks. By the way, I want to tell y'all, Sarah Starks. That's my mama.
Hey, mom.
Shout out to my mama. She wrote, I want to comment on the conversation about you are the company you keep. Sometimes in life, if you are blessed, the good ones are associated with the bad kids help. And it's good. Hold on. Good ones that are associated with the bad kids help turn their life around. I definitely agree with that. Now, look, where I'm from, we don't grow up with a bunch of bad kids. She know I ain't lying. That's why she put it in there. Now, I want to tell you, I was not one of them. Let me be clear. Because I know you read that and you be like, oh, she probably talking about him.
I need your mom to re-comment.
It was not me.
Clarify.
It was
Good one or the bad?
I promise. It wasn't me. I promise. But it's some bad jokers out there. Varsha, something I do want to go back on is I don't think you got the opportunity to tell us about your book.
Oh, okay. So again, this is my first novel. It's available on Amazon. So the backstory is when I pray, I journal. I journal all my prayers. So any prayer that is brought to me from friends, associates, for some reason, when I'm out and about and Trader Joe's, Kroger's, someone would come up to me and just talk and ask for prayer. So I journal. That's for me. That's how my prayers get up. So I've been journaling for years. And moving, I was like, oh my gosh, my journals are going to get lost. I have about close to 100 journals. They're not all filled because if I see a new journal out and about, I pick it up. So when COVID started and I was home and I started typing all my prayers. I was just collecting up all of them. And I said, okay, I'm gonna make this into a book. And I just couldn't just put prayers. So a lot of certain prayers, situations that I took out, I decided to compare them to the women in the Bible. Hence, you will see within my book, it's comparison of different women. I have used them because women, we have a lot of different shoes. So we have woman in boots, woman in tennis shoes, woman in flats. Everything they have gone through, I compare them to different women within the Bible. Um, I sat on it for the longest, and I told my father that, "Hey, Daddy, I wrote a book," and just to see his reaction. And he was like, "Well, baby, I got stage 4 cancer." But that's one upper. All right, sir. And I just sat on it. And before he passed, it was like, I hope I get to read it before I pass. You ain't going nowhere. So, woo! So he passed, and I was like, life is too short. So I published. I'm a self-published author. And once I started writing, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many stories, so many stories. I started pulling out other journals, started pulling out stories I wrote for my daughter when she was born, stories I wrote when we were trying to conceive our daughter. So it just opened up a floodgate. And I could talk all day about my book, about my baby. But that was my passion. It's my passion. I found you have friends. I have friends within my circle that like, hey, I published mine. When is yours coming? If your circle don't grow you,
you got a box.
You got a box. You stagnant. I have friends that are like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. X, Y, and Z. 80. I have a awesome hype man, which is my cousin, Sylvester Jenkins III. He's also a published author and a motivation.
Shout out, Sylvester.
He was like, cuz 80% always want to write a book, only 20% actually do it. Come on, you got to be smarter than the average bear. So as your circle have to grow you. Your circle should motivate you, hold you up. You have an Aaron within that circle. So
but you might have a Judah too.
But when you have that Aaron and you have that Peter, can't nobody touch you. Can't nobody touch you because I have some Peters. Y'all don't understand that? Go and read about Peter.
Oh no, we get it. We get it. Hey, OJ, OJ, tell us a little bit more about the motivational speaking and how you could be reached or contacted through that service.
I appreciate it. Yeah. My website, if you want to check out more, you can go to my website. It's www.okoyosimmons.com. That's OKYO Simmons.com. And like I said, we really focus on taking folks from good to great, whether it be your professional development, your personal development, or you just need a jolt of motivation. I come in and we take care of business. So I really think that there's a need for genuine leadership in all facets and all arenas, all around. And a lot of that growth comes with, how much you're willing to pour into your team or your group or yourself. And so I just am blessed to be able to have a platform where I could come in and help you with that. I've done a couple of sports teams here in the area, in the high schools. I deal with the military, just did one with the Army, and got a couple more on the slate. But certainly, if if you want to check me out on my social media, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at OJ Motivates. OJ Motivates, and just check me out. And it's growing and growing, but it is certainly a blessing. And I'm just happy to contribute to the growth of so many people and so many businesses. Something I knew there was a market for, but I didn't realize that how many people and individuals are in need of further development as it relates to leadership and teamwork and unit cohesion and stuff like that. So I'm happy to do it. Give me a call, contact me. Whether you have a small business, big business, any entrepreneur, whatever the case, you got a school board, any staff. I do command suite visits as well. So yeah, I'm more than happy to come and help you out. So I appreciate you, Marcus, for allowing me to come on and talk about it.
My brother. So, Shante, I know you don't like to tell everybody what you got going on in your life, and you're sort of kind of introverted and all this other stuff. But what do you got going on you like in your life that you would like, maybe from an entrepreneur standpoint, or even the doctoral standpoint that you're currently in that you want to share with the listeners out there?
So for anyone who has been in a PhD program or who is currently in one, you can understand how much time that dictates from your schedule and how important it is to get through things. But just to give you a brief synopsis of what I am focused on in my dissertation, it's on disability support services for student veterans. So after the initial years where soldiers were coming back from the global war on terrorism beginning in 2003 up until now, there has been a ton of research on what resources are needed for student veterans as they use their GI Bill and other benefits to go to post-secondary institutions. And although we have, almost 20 years now of literature that states what's needed, no one has actually done the studies to determine, now that these programs and resources are in place, are they actually meeting their intent? And so that is what I am focused on my dissertation, talking to student veterans who have used these services to determine if they have helped, if so, how they can help, or other programs that they would suggest post-secondary institutions implement in order to most effectively help student veterans.
That is awesome. I first want to say I'm definitely, I feel empowered and definitely blessed to have been able to share this content with this great panel of people today. You all are doing, great things in the community, and I feel like when I listen to each one of you talk about what you're passionate about, I feel like it just shows me that you are walking in your purpose. I feel like a lot of times there are things that try to throw you off your purpose. One thing I want people to realize about when they watch this particular podcast or any podcast you might see from past or present for me is that, I love doing this. I love being able to have these candid conversations. And what my hope is, my intent is that no matter what the conversation is about, that somebody's going to, listen to this and they're going to find some peace or some sanctity in it, or, grow or evolve just from hearing other people talk about it. Because Varsha, I think it was Varsha who mentioned this, about people suffering in silence, right? There are so many things that go on in people's life that they just don't talk about. Or I'll do you one better. We all have like a certain group of friends that we can talk to about everything, right? Or anything. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take those conversations, those intimate conversations, and bring them here for somebody who maybe doesn't have that circle of friends, or maybe doesn't have that person to listen to, or listen to them, or that that shoulder to cry on or lean on. So that is my intent, for this particular show. Before we get out of here, I want to ask this from each one of my guests. Is there anything that you would want to pass on to the listeners as far as the topic that we talked about today that they can either use or that may help them, in the future or currently?
So, as far as
Friendship.
Friendship.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Don't be, let me see how I'm gonna put this. Don't be stagnant in your connections. I know I've encountered a lot of individuals like, I don't like people. I I don't fool with females. Life is boring. You're bored. You have to go through life with someone. Not to say, hey, we got to break bread every day, or we have to share space all the time. But you need someone to go through life with, other than your helpmate, other than your mama, daddy, and them. You need someone in your life. It's your mama and daddy, they love you, so they gonna tell you things like, yeah, you're the best thing since sliced bread. But that friend is gonna tell you, yeah, you the end piece sometimes.
Are you starting to get a little moldy?
Oh my goodness.
End piece sometimes, but I love you. You can still make a sandwich with it, but you're the end piece sometimes. So you need someone to go through life with. If you are ever without any motivation or anything, check out iHeartRadio, Adults for Hope. I will actually be on there September 14th at, oh my gosh, I'm Eastern time, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you just need a bit of motivation or just a bit of prayer, hop on iHeartRadio, Adults for Hope. Please feel free to follow me on IG. She Writes, SHEWRITS, IG. And it's just so you can have that social media friend. I know some of us have social media friends that we have yet to meet in real life that cheer for you harder than your actual family. I
see no lies.
Okay, I don't mind being that social media auntie. Like, they were just born and now they're in high school. Hyping you up, sharing your page, sharing anything, or you can see my shenanigans that my little ones go through, how I parent fail every day. So, hey, reach out. We're in the time of technology. No one should be out of reach. So that's my 22 cents.
Amen. Okay, for me, I think the biggest takeaway is to pick your friends like you pick your fruit. You know, take your time and make sure that all the traits and characteristics that you need to line up with and link up with as friends and to connect with as friends is there and exists. Like I said earlier, you need to ensure that your relationship with your friends is a place where you're going to give things. Okay, and it's got to be mutual. Go to give. You're not there to get. You will get, but the primary is to go to give as far as the relationship is concerned. And as you give, here's something that's important, and I think we touched on it earlier. As we give, make sure when you do give, you're giving from a place of excess. Okay, meaning your cup is full. Keep your cup full, and then in the excess, take the excess and pour into your relationships. Okay, because your self-care is important. So you want to keep your cup full and you pour into someone else, because if you're not at 100%, you're not at your best, then how can you expect your friend or whomever you're in that relationship to be their best? Okay, so pour from excess, keep your cup full. But friendship is big, treat it that way. Do your maintenance on your circle. Pull the weeds away. And if you outgrow somebody, sometimes we do, you outgrow your friends. That's okay. That's okay. That's going to happen. So no one says that you have to keep that same group if you've outgrown it. So, but friends are big, and I just encourage you to really take your time and figure out if you are associated with the right folks, and make sure that you all are growing together, because that's big. And if you need some motivation on how to do that, holla at me. I got it. That's what I do. Okay, that's what I do. Get at me. Yes, sir.
Okay, and to reiterate what I said on Friendship Part 1, and to piggyback off of what OJ said, I just want to remind everyone the importance of strong, healthy friendships, how that can benefit your life. But having those relationships or those friendships with other people also consists of someone knowing when it's best for you to have to cut somebody off, because they are showing you that, you know, they are might not have the best intentions towards you or the friendship. So being able to let go, give it to God, and be okay with moving on from this person is a part of having those healthy friendships.
Well said from all of you. But so before I give my last little take, I again want to thank all of you for being on here, man. I feel like this was I got something from it. You know what I'm saying? It was a good conversation, good topic, great people. I hope I thank the listeners the viewers. I hope they gain something from it. Before I exit, another thing I got to do before I give my own little spiel, I got to shout out to Jackson State University. You know what I'm saying? Who just thumped FAMU yesterday.
They put it on them boys.
I'm going to give a shout out to my parents, Larry McCoy, Sarah Starks, my sisters, my brothers, my family. Definitely got to shout out Jackson. I want to actually shout out to my dad's. I saw my dad's best friend, Bill Clay. He made a comment too. So I want to shout out Bill Clay. He was basically like an uncle that I didn't ask for when I was growing up. So, but him and my dad, they are another epitome of friendship. They've been friends for quite a long time, and I know he's definitely a guy that my dad can count on, and even I can count on if I need him or for my time of need. I want to say, let's not be so quick to call a person your friend. You know, we talked about it earlier, but we didn't really get into it how loosely. I think Varsha said it. How loosely we use the term friend, right? You know, we've obviously talked about all the things that we look for in a friend, and how we think a friend should carry themselves. Just be careful with that, because, you know, again, like I said earlier, you know, sometimes the devil will place somebody in your way or in your circle that's actually the enemy. Right. You might not see it at that time, but all things reveal in due time. So, you know, like it was stated before, make sure you have, you know, healthy relationships, value those relationships, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be here forever. We all have a short time on this earth, and you had to value the people that value you. But with all that being said, I definitely wanted you guys to join me next month. We're going to have another interesting topic, but I'm going to do something different. I'm not going to tell you what the topic is going to be. You're going to have to tune in to see. But until then, El Paso, it's been real.
Yeah.